What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today we're going to summon for Saida. I thought I'd take you with me on the hunt for some copies of her. Usually I have to say, Hypogean heroes summoning, I've been rather lucky, so maybe this will be cool. Also, which is very nice, I got the skin from that last purchase I did for today, because obviously we are going to get the Saida pack, which includes like the one copy, so we got the Talene skin now as well, which is absolutely great, because that skin, I have to say it, well, I think many people would like to have it, and some were very angry for Little Games putting it at like this, well, spending lock. Yeah, you had to buy it, in fact. It is a very cool skin, I have to say it. Sadly, not longer really too much of a meta hero in some of the Athalia teams she had at her place. But it's a great skin, nice animations with the blue flames and everything, absolutely love it. So, let's start off with some Saida copies now. Saida is, well, quite a contrast to that. That is honestly quite of a nice transition. A hero which design in general was not liked too much. So, a lot of people said, I hate her design. Wraec, what have they done to her? I didn't hate it. I wasn't really too concerned about it, I have to say. Was alright, in my opinion. It's okay. It's just like, I understand that it looks a little bit weird. I understand that much. We have 19k here at the moment, so we're quickly going to go ahead and going to get ourselves 3 Saida copies. So that is a great start. We can also watch her animation right now. It already gives us the pack that is fairly fancy. And the pack is worth it, by the way. Usually I think it was like 55 or 65 stellar crystals that you get, and if you consider the copy at like pity, that's 40, so it's like 75 stellar crystals, making those packs actually fairly good, I have to say. I think in the past I didn't buy one of them because I thought that they weren't too great. Let's watch the animation. I mean, she's a parasite, so that look in her eyes makes kind of sense. She's not supposed to be like a living, feeling being. That is like the whole thing of her. So I think we're going to go into the summons. I want to go for S+. I kind of thought about it, wanted to, and considered whether or not I want to go and like enhance her further. But at best case, we would have landed at like P1, P2. So I decided that we could go for P3 Dunlinger instead, which we did in my live stream recently. I upgraded this guy, and we're going to go for Supreme Plus on Saida, which already is like insane if you think about it. Because what that essentially means in the end is we need to get like 14 copies, I believe it was, which is crazy. That's such an insane amount of stellar crystals already. And yeah, no wonder that on most of those Celestial Hypogean heroes, I actually don't have like a very competitive rank. It's not like I have like P4 on all of those. Some people think that because in general I have a lot of P4s, but it's so difficult to get there on Celestial and Hypogean, especially if you're going ahead and trying to test all of the ones that they release. Then you go for Supreme Plus, you get yourself like 14 copies, and well, that could have been like one hero that goes from P2 to P4 or something. So it's really crazy. So let's see if we can pull off some double pulls here. That will be our first one on the pity. So nothing too fancy, unless of course there is a second copy hiding behind the first one. Also, I would deeply appreciate some diamonds if we can do this, so that we can summon a few more copies of Pandora. So if we see the 9,999 diamonds popping up, I ain't mad. I have to say it. I would be rather happy about that. Skip animation here, let's see it, come on. No gems so far. And I have to say, for the Dunlinger it was the same. Also, I think I didn't get any gems to it, or any diamonds, so it was a little bit crazy. Again on the pity, that's like usually what you get. As I saw some dude asking recently, how many copies can you get from that amount of stellar crystals? Like really, if you calculate it, you can really calculate with the pity. As sad as it is, that's most of the time, right? There's one guy always on some Discord server that says, oh, I got 1 copy every 25 summons. Yeah, but that isn't me. Well, at least we got a little bit lucky here, getting an early copy, so that is good. But yeah, so trying to get the copies here. And some diamonds, come on. I mean, like, I have to be a few. Okay, we're getting to a good rate, guys. We're getting to a good rate. That is rather nice. Like, only 20 between. Maybe I will become the guy that has, like, a copy every 25 summons. Maybe that is me. Maybe that is me this time. Huh? Or not. Maybe not. Well, we get like 1 temporal essence. I mean, I take it. I take temporal essence. We need a lot of it, actually. I think I ran out while doing the upgrade on Pandora. We upgraded her to 25 immediately. Woo! Let's go! 6,666 gems. I like to see that. That's a little bit more progress towards our Pandora, actually. Okay. It looks like it should be something fancy, but in reality it's like 2 temporal essence. Okay, I mean, I take it. And then the pity copy once again. I mean, it's still, right now, not too bad from the summons. Like, not super insane yet. We have yet to see something really insane happening. But it's also not too bad. It's kind of alright. It's kind of alright. We had a decent pace. We got the 3,000 gems there. I take those. We get the copy again on the pity timer. We are used to this by now. So, kinda okay, I guess. How many copies do we have? Let's quickly check. I don't want to over-summon necessarily. I kinda just want to have her. I kinda just really want to have her. I think she is cool. She has some cool effects. I would enhance her further and play a little bit more if it wasn't like super expensive. It is just ridiculously expensive to get a Celestial Hypogean hero into a PvP worthy state. And honestly, and I think it's kind of a good thing, for this game you often have the opportunity to build a team without like Celestial Hypogean heroes. I think there are like a lot of good options. Chimera, of course, #1 choice there. Bonnie, absolutely insane. And I mean, we don't have to like lie in that case. Heroes like Athalia are absolutely insane and will shape PvP matters. But still, there are some very nice teams you can build without them. Sometimes there is even a counter. So that is just one thing that I like about this game. And still I have some heroes that I went for. I think Belren honestly was a little bit of an impulse choice when I went for it, where I just said, okay, I really want to upgrade this guy, and went to P3, and I think for a few seconds I was doubting whether or not this is a good idea. But still right now I think it was. I honestly think it was. I think he has some really high potential, is a really good hero, and is a fun hero as well. So 3 more copies of Saida. Let's see what we can do here. We still have a very decent amount of Stellar Crystals left actually. So there is the option to do something. I'm not too sure which hero we would go for if we were to go make a P4. If we just wait for the next hero to release. Make that next summoning a little bit cheaper. 5 tempo. This is like so ridiculously rare. Is this still like in the chances? Wait. Like the 5 temporal essence has like the base rate of 0.5%. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, the diamond is rarer, the 666 diamond is also rarer. That's the same rate as the 3000 diamond. Interesting. I vaguely remember that it said something completely insane before they adjusted the rates. There was like this big discussion at the beginning of AFK Journey where the rates were basically all over the place and really didn't fit. You really could see it while playing that the rates were wrong that they said, and they later on fixed it and took away the extra percentages they put in for the pity. They basically calculated the pity in the chances, which I still think was like a big mistake. I don't think players would have cared whether the chance is 3% or 1.4%. Yes, you can always argue that both is really too low. But on the other hand, I mean, like, would you have been more mad if it was like 1.4 instead of 3%? Is that something you really have to fake as a company? I don't really think so. I don't want to say it's like a fraudulent way to display it. Maybe they just thought this was the right thing to do. Maybe they had the decision to make between 2 ways to display it, one with the pity and one without, and somebody said, oh, let's take the higher one. But on the other hand, yeah, like it's still kind of bad, isn't it? I lost count of the copies that we got right now because I was so distracted. We have another one. So let's see, Saida, single copy. We do need one more, so let's see, come on. First 10 bomb. That is like this, always the situation where I then get the double or triple pull and I'm stuck with like a semi-upgraded Saida or something. I still have an extra copy, I think, for Scalita. We for a very long time had an extra copy of Rainier. think there's also an extra copy for Telino or something. Okay, very quick pull here. I like it. Let's see if it's a double again. Let's see if they want to trigger me and get me to upgrade this to Paragon 1. No! They say, okay, Wraec, that's enough. Supreme Plus, that's perfectly fine, leaving us with 255 pulls, which is pretty good. I mean, that's like 6 copies. With a little bit of luck, 7 copies. So not bad at all. I mean, if you're considering you need a little bit less copies to actually upgrade a hero to like Paragon 4, so that's 6. We could get like Dunlinger upgraded, we could maybe even P4 Thalia or P4 Belrin, which would be pretty cool. Or we could just wait for the next one. I don't know yet. Maybe you guys can tell me down in the comments what you think I should do. I'm not too sure, honestly. I think the better way for me as a content creator would probably be saving and just like waiting for like the next hero to release, because obviously we always want to test a new hero, and there isn't always the opportunity to just say, okay, let's test that new hero on the Pioneer server, because they don't always make one. For Saida, of course, we had that, so I already made a video about her, and as far as I know, she actually wasn't changed. So that is like just the same hero, very ultra-lined hero, a very tanky hero as well. She's actually really very tanky. She has this nice hero focus here that allows her to get a ton of damage reduction, up to 40%, which is an absolute madness, and brought her on par with it in very tanky Mauler teams with like Belrin. Felt pretty much the same, a little bit less tanky on that side, but you from the design of the hero, you think, oh, that's very squishy hero, maybe like a mage or something, but in reality, no, fairly tanky. And once she really starts going, and once she really starts like putting seeds on the enemy and doing her ult, and she has the 600 starting energy, you really start feeling her power. The only thing that's keeping us away is we actually ran out of temporal essence just now. And you really want the plus 15. Yeah, plus 15 is really important, because that is the absolute insane CC she has once she did her ult 3 times. The way this works is basically she has an effect that shortens the interval between deep-seated effects, and we can see each time she casts the ultimate, interval between drain seed text effect is shortened by 0.5 seconds up to a maximum of 1.5 seconds. So 3 times after you do ult there 3 times, then she basically activates that, and that is an absolutely enormous CC that will make basically every enemy unit that isn't unaffected absolutely useless. And by that point in time on the Pioneer server, we often saw like unaffected Belrins that were still a problem. But I said in my review, when you fulfill this condition of like the 3 ults, usually you win the fight. And in many cases that is true. And we had like this very great demonstration of a fight that was already basically lost, but she like did so much damage still. We still lost, but it was very fancy. Okay, I just pulled up the fight from the video I made about her. It's like Saida gameplay, she's great, but maybe a bad summon. And we can see right there she is in the top already with low HP, did some ults already. She's actually going to die here in a second, and like we see Belrin over there, Belrin gone, and then all my heroes will be gone. Then we really get to see her power, because that is exactly the moment where she gets to do her third seed on an enemy, and then we really get to see what she can do. She revives on the seed over there. The positioning is interesting. There, everybody sees seed on the battlefield, and how tanky she is, and how often she can actually cast her ult within that time is an absolute menace. I think if we had something like a Bonnie effect, a Bonnie damage over time effect maybe at that point, I think with all the time that just passed there, we would have probably still won. There we see the effect, we see the absolute insane damage over time she still puts out within her effects there. And I think if the enemy Athalia wasn't able to just like ignore the CC once she died, I think there would have been a really good chance this would have been like a win. Because in the end it's like a very close loss. And I think either Bonnie damage over time or like an Athalia on our side could have brought the victory there. And like, there are many options. So I don't hate her. I don't hate her skills at all. I think also in that sense she's overrated. By the way, don't forget to do the trial stage. Always like a very easy 300 gems. You always take that. So definitely a great hero. I'm not too sure on how I will progress I kind of can see myself dragging this out a little bit with the upgrade to plus 15, because it's always so expensive. Don't really want to spend money on temporal essence, to be honest. And I think, and I was asked that also in my live stream, they didn't do a great job with this triple release, Pang, Pandora, and Saida at the same time. I mean, you have no chance to basically have enough temporal essence if you summon them all, and like as a free-to-play you don't even have the summoning resources to summon them all. That is just a little bit too much. I think Saida plus Pandora or Saida plus Pang, that would have been fine. Then everybody would have had an opportunity to say, okay, I summon Pang now, and maybe I don't need him, or I skip Pang, summon Saida. There would have been a lot of options. I think with the triple summon, I probably won't summon Pang. It's like the first hero that I don't summon. It's like as a content creator, which is honestly a little bit ridiculous. As a content creator, I'm sitting here and saying, okay, I kind of want my account to work very, very well. And that's why I will probably go for Pandora P3 and skip Pang over it, which is a little bit of a madness. So also I would really care about that. Who did you summon? Did you go for Pandora? Did you go for Saida? Did you have the resources to go for all of them, or did you decide to skip on certain heroes and in favor of others? So did you summon nobody of them? I mean, it's also a fair choice. I think Pandora, for my account, is a must-have. She has some very great potential. I see her pop up in different boss fights as well. But at the same time, if you don't have like a super big nuker, if you didn't invest into Cryonaya or Dino, she probably isn't too great in PvP. And even in PvP, you can still counter her with like an Athalia stall team in many situations. And Brownie also made the video on like the problem with Dundlinger and her. Obviously, you are kind of setting your winning condition on a singular hero. That was what he said in that video, and you can check it out on his channel. I definitely recommend that. And that kind of makes it easier to counter than some teams that have like multiple winning conditions. But at the same time, if you attack and your enemy doesn't have like a Lily May, if your enemy doesn't have a Dundlinger, you get like 2 ults in like 8 seconds, which will absolutely destroy your enemy and is quite a madness. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And with that, one more recommendation, of course, for our sponsor Lootbar. If you want to go ahead and get yourself the cheapest Dragon Crystals for AFK Journey, you can do so on Lootbar. And of course also get the new packs. We have the Festive Glorious pack here, the best pack that ever was released in my opinion for AFK Journey. You can get that for very cheap here. I recommend the lock-in top-up for the best prices, and they will always deliver very, very quickly. And if you register through the link down in the description, you will also get a discount coupon. There's always a discount coupon when you register through that link, so definitely recommend doing so. And other than that, I wish you a great day, and we will see us in the next one.